Hello everyone, I'm back for a new video, and I've kind of gotten away from the motorcycles just for a little bit, not very long. What I've done here is I've upgraded to a San Juan 21. I got a really good deal on it. Here's my older boat, and I had fixed this one all last spring, and we sailed it a couple times, and it was fun. But I ran into this, and it looked like a really good, boat to move up in size, but it needed a lot of things, and one of which was it needed a mast. The old mast, I'll show you it over here, was bent. They hit the tree at the boat dock and it snapped it. So I looked and looked, and I didn't want to get out of hand cost wise. A new one would have been around $1,200, and that's a lot. So what I'm going to try and do here is I'm going to try to retrofit another mast, a different mast onto it. I mounted the bracket, and the other one came off pretty easy and had some really nice threaded bolts that go right into a heavy steel girder. I don't know if you can see in there, but there's a steel girder that holds the crank that allows the center board or the keel to come down. So with that mounted, I had to switch over all of the hardware, and some of it was really easy, just rivets. As you can see, this is riveted, but others were threaded, so I went ahead and I threaded. You can see I've got one threaded here, and this is the only one I kind of boogered up. It's got a rivet in it, but that's all threaded. This right here, that was all mounted and threaded. I left these on. These came from the other, or were on the mast when I bought it. And the area that the sail slides into and that the boom slides into, it works. But it's at a little different location, so I'm going to see if that's going to make a difference. And here I have had to install a shim, and this is where the spreaders come out, and they're an aluminum tube. And that aluminum tube, I've got all these marked, but the aluminum tube is what I'm waiting on right now, and it should be in today. It's a heavy strength steel or aluminum, and it's not cheap, but I'll be able to fit the fittings on either end, and in essence they kind of stand off the mast like so and hold the cables out and further secure the mast onto the boat. All of this had to be retrofitted back on from the old mast. You can see my marks. You can see it's for the jib and everything. Again, it's all marked. And I was just amazed. What I did is I had to cut off this much of the mast, and this area here is wider and a little bit fatter. It's wider and taller, I might say. But the cap from the old one fit in really tight. Now it doesn't fit perfectly, but this is tight, and basically the fore stay and the aft stay and the sides, it just squishes down in there. So if it's in snug, it's not going anywhere. So I really got lucky. This mast was used. I think I'm in at $190, and then add to that anything I'm gonna have to buy. But what a score if it works. So today we're gonna get the aluminum tubes. We're gonna fit those on, and then we're going to test it and raise the mast. Now the boat itself isn't in bad shape. It's got some nicks, you know, and it's got some scratches. Now it came with this outboard. I checked the compression. It's a 6 horsepower Evinrude Sportsman, and I think it's like a 1972. And what a neat little motor. And I don't know, I don't want to take the girlfriend out with this motor unless it just really purrs. So we'll see. Otherwise I'll probably buy either a really nice electric, or I'll probably end up getting a 4-stroke just so I can go to more lakes. Around here the 2-strokes aren't really welcome in every lake. So if you want to take a look inside the San Juan 21, we'll go on in. In the back, it's got a nice area back here that happens to be a ladder, but that's where your fuel tank will probably go. And I've got some work to do. This wood is really dry, and I don't know if it's even savable, but I probably will only replace the stuff I have to, like this side. And this is loose. That cover, I need to get that. This doesn't work properly. I think this is a replacement that goes in here. It's a hatch. Now all the cushions came with it, and they are down in the garage. But as you can see, it's not anything that can't be cleaned up. I've got to do the front hatch, but all the wood seems to be good in here. And the biggest thing that I'm going to have to do with this is take it down in the water. And I'm not going to sail it, but I'm going to try to get about an hour of it soaking in the water and see if I can get it to leak on me. I don't know if it's gonna leak. If it doesn't, then I won't even mess with a bilge pump. But the bilge pump would work for anything that's small, any sort of small leaking. So all in all, it's very, very workable. And with all the cushions, it could be comfortable down here, but this is just going to be a day sailor, so I don't know. I might recover them. Probably will recover the cushions if I like the boat and we sail it. It's got all the rigging. It's got 2 sails. And it's just dying to get back out on the water. And I'll also have a pretty good idea of how this runs here real soon too. The tubes were bent and broken off. And there's like the ends that are broken off. So there's the remainder of the 6-footer, and there are the new spreaders. So you have those that are kind of retain the line, they retain the line. This is not tightened down tight. It's made to move. And then you got your mid sheets, I guess they call this. And those little shims in there with the screws that tighten down against them. So we have our spreaders. And now it's time to set up all the rigging and raise the mast. And the mast is up. And it was a bit of a job for one guy, I'll tell you that. But it was also the first time. And I used the method of pulling up the front with the front jib halyard here. Then that goes back to a cleat in the cockpit where you can kind of pull the mast up, or at least push it up and then hold it in place till you can run up here and put this pin in and this front halyard in. So it's up and the sail is showing no holes. So next is the jib. And the jib is up. I've got the boom here, and obviously when they hit the tree it kind of stressed this out. I'm going to be able to repair that. And I've got the top part of the retrofit mast, and I'm pulling off all this good stainless steel stuff, and I'll just keep it for maybe another boat. And I'll take these off here. I think they'll still work for something, and I think that'll be for the system I'm going to rig up to raise that mast. Try to make it a one-man deal. So this is the end of the video, and basically I'm going to call this the San Juan 21 Mast Retrofit. And as you can see, I've got to still tune it. I don't know exactly where it should be, whether it should be angled forward or as it is now. It's kind of angled towards the rear of the boat. But I've got room for adjustment. But I cut everything absolutely perfect. So the length of this mast is the same as the old mast. It's just a mast from a 26.0 day is what I found out. So, you know, you can kind of retrofit these in. I don't think you have to stay with a particular mast if you're a little creative. Now, I don't know if I'm going to run into any problems once this thing's out on the water, but I think everything's going to be just fine. Just got a few little things to replace, and then it's time to go sailing when the snow stops flying. So don't be afraid to use a different mast on your sailboat if you can't find the exact one that is supposed to go on it, because you're able to do it. You can do it. I did it, and it's my first time trying to retrofit a mast on a sailboat. So I hope this kind of helps somebody out there who might be thinking that it's too expensive for a brand new mast when there are used masts out there. So good luck, and thanks for watching.